There is a version of you that nobody has been able to reach, not because you built walls, because you learned something most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid understanding. That the moment someone can fully predict you, they stop respecting you. Think about the people in your life who make you slightly uncomfortable. Not the aggressive ones, not the loud ones, the quiet ones, the ones who listen more than they speak, who never seem rattled, who give nothing away in their expression when you expected a reaction. Something about them makes you careful. You choose your words differently around them. You think twice before testing them, not because they threatened you, because you cannot read them. And what you cannot read, you cannot control. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how to become that person. Drop this in the comments right now. I am becoming unreadable. Most people give themselves away before they open their mouth. The way they laugh when they are nervous. The way they over-explain when they feel judged. The way they go quiet in exactly the wrong moments. The way their face changes when someone says something that hits too close. And here is the painful truth. The people around you are reading these signals constantly. Not maliciously, not always consciously, but they are learning you. Learning what makes you anxious, what makes you defensive, what makes you need reassurance. And once someone has that map, they use it. Not always against you, but always to navigate around you. This is why certain people never seem to get taken advantage of. Not because nobody tries, because there is nothing to get purchase on, no visible anxiety, no obvious need for approval, no emotional tells that say, here is where I am vulnerable. Drop this in the comments. I give nothing away. Psychologist Paul Ekman spent decades studying micro-expressions, the involuntary flashes of emotion that cross a human face in less than a second. His finding was uncomfortable. Most people cannot hide what they feel, not because they lack discipline, because the face reveals emotion before the conscious mind decides whether to show it. But here is what Ekman also found. A small percentage of people, he called them naturals, showed almost no micro-expressions. Not because they felt nothing, because they had developed something rare, a gap between what they felt internally and what appeared on the surface. That gap is not coldness, it is control. Robert Cialdini found something connected to this. People automatically assign more value, more authority, more intelligence to individuals who speak less and reveal less. Not because silence is impressive, because restraint signals that a person has something worth protecting. And the Stoics understood this 2,000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius wrote privately, "Words never meant to be read, that the wise man responds to life rather than reacts to it. Reaction is visible, response is controlled. Reaction gives people a map. Response gives them nothing." Drop this in the comments. I respond. I do not react. Most people misunderstand this. They think unreadable means cold, distant, emotionally unavailable. It does not. The most unreadable people are often the warmest in private, the most generous in action, the most genuine in connection with the people who earned it. What makes them unreadable is not the absence of feeling. It is the discipline of choosing when and where that feeling appears. They do not perform happiness to make others comfortable. They do not perform calm to seem impressive. They simply exist at a frequency that most people cannot tune into without effort. And that effort, that slight difficulty of reading them, is what creates respect. Think about the last person who impressed you without trying to impress you, who seemed completely settled inside themselves, who made you feel like you were auditioning for their attention rather than the other way around. They were not performing confidence, they simply had nothing to prove. Drop this in comments. I have nothing to prove. 1. Over-explaining. Every word you say that was not asked for is a window into where you feel insecure. The person who justifies their decisions before anyone questioned them just showed you where they expect judgment. The unreadable person does not explain. They decide. They act. They move forward. If someone questions it, they consider the question. If it is a good question, they adjust. If it is simply pressure, they don't. 2. Reacting to bait. Every time someone says something designed to provoke you and you respond with emotion, you have handed them the remote control to your internal state. The unreadable person pauses before responding. Not dramatically, not obviously, just long enough to choose rather than react. That pause is the entire difference between power and exposure. 3. Needing them to understand. The most readable thing a person can do is desperately need the other person to understand their perspective. Unreadable people state their position clearly, once. They do not repeat it. They do not soften it. They do not apologize for it. If the other person understands, good. If they don't, that is information too. Drop this in comments. My silence speaks louder than your noise. People stop testing you. Not immediately. They will test once or twice first because they want to confirm what they sense. But once they confirm it, the testing stops because there is no reward in it. Conversations change. People think before they speak to you, not from fear, from respect, because they sense without being able to explain why that this person is paying attention on a level most people aren't, and the way people speak about you changes too. Not to you, about you. They are hard to read. You never know what they are thinking. They are calm, in a way that makes you careful. These are not complaints. These are the words people use for the people they respect most. And here is what nobody tells you about becoming unreadable. It does not make you lonely. It makes you selective. Because when you stop broadcasting everything you feel, the people who choose to stay choose you for the right reasons. Becoming psychologically unreadable is not about becoming someone else. It is about returning to the version of yourself that existed before you learned to perform for other people. The version that did not need to explain itself. That did not need to justify its choices. That did not need the room to approve before it felt settled. That version is not gone. It is simply underneath the years of making yourself legible to people who were never going to read you carefully anyway. Become unreadable, not as a weapon, as a return. Drop this final affirmation in the comments. I am returning to myself. Think about one area of your life where you have been giving too much away, where you have been explaining when you should have been silent, reacting when you should have responded, performing when you should have simply been. Start there. Subscribe to Psychex Media, because the most powerful version of you was never meant to be this easy to read.